Hello everybody, hope you are doing well. I am Qudsia Tahseen, Professor of Zoology, Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh. I'll be telling you something about nematodes. So let's peep into the world of nematodes through this tiny window. Nematodes are considered to be the most abundant and genetically diverse yet multicellular organisms. They are considered to be having a great number of species which are still to be known. And there is a famous saying by Nathan Cobb that if we remove everything from the universe, then but the nematodes are left, then our world will still be dimly recognizable. And that is really great because of their specificity, because they are found in different regions like mountains, glaciers, hot water springs, even the deserts. Everywhere they are there in the form of a film. They have been known since very long time, about 120 to 135 million years ago. And they are there in all the habitats. They can be found in sea, they can be found on the land. On the land also they can be animal parasites, they can be plant parasites, or they can be free living ones. So if you want to categorize the nematodes depending on their size, so there are various organisms, very tiny ones which are in the microns, they are considered to be microbes. Then there are further larger ones, they constitute microfauna, which are the protozoans, but the nematodes, they constitute meiofauna, and they are considered to be the organisms which are intermediate of size of protozoans or arthropods. So what are these nematodes? As I told you that they are the most numerous creatures, but the species number is yet to be known because of their hideous nature, and their size is ranging very diversely from microscopic to about 26 feet. That is 26 feet size nematode is found in blue whale in placenta. They have got a very simple morphology, circulatory system, respiratory system and skeletal system absent. You can see here this figure shows you the diversity in these nematodes, like terrestrial, freshwater and marine. They can be of different types with different types of morphological or structural adaptations. So these nematodes are now quite in picture. In about 1,000 labs you can find nematodes to be the model, and you can see their diversity. Over 3 billion nematodes can be present in 1 acre of land, or even you can find that there in the top layer of soil, about 30 centimeter of soil, you will find numerous species can be found. So these nematodes, what is the reason of their diversity? They are really having a simple anatomical pattern, but that is called as deceptive because the simplicity lies in the eyes of beholder. You can just imagine whatever, you can think whatever you feel like about the nematodes, but these nematodes really are not so simple as they look like. They are very hardcore also, because in the space shuttle Columbia, which collided with Earth with an impact of about 2,295 times the Earth gravity, these nematodes were taken in an experiment. They were kept in aluminum canisters, and these nematodes could be found alive yet after collision. That is really amazing thing about them. So these nematodes, they impact humans in many ways. They can be causing various types of diseases. They can be the diseases to the livestock or to the humans. So they are having their own medicinal and veterinary value. Then the important pests of crops, because they cause huge losses to agriculture. Then they are having their role in mineralization, or you can say nutrient cycling. And now they are considered to be good models in aging research, in developmental research, and also in researches related to cancer. Because the phenomenon of apoptosis, that is programmed cell death, that was actually found in these nematodes, which had been a great discovery that led to the scientist, or that fetched the scientist the Nobel Prize. Nowadays they are also used as bioindicators to detect the environment quality. So you can see that their applications and uses are immense. Here you can see this picture shows the different types of nematodes which can cause diseases in humans. So not in humans, they can cause diseases in animals also. Here you can see they just don't spare any of the phylum of the animals. Here they are parasitizing the arthropods, the locust. You can see even the mosquito larva that is not spared, and you can see the pupa which has exploded to release millions of nematodes. And these nematodes basically they are the parasitic nematodes which are killing these pupae, and in turn they are used as effective biocontrol agents. So you can imagine the uses or the applications or the importance of these nematodes. Here you can see the plant parasites with a spear or a stylet which is needle-like. They can pierce the plant cells, and they can just be parasites of about 6,000 known species of plants. So you can imagine that how much losses are incurred because of their presence in the field. You can see here the several layers of the plantation. You can see they are just gone because of their presence. You can see the state of sweet potato in the picture, which is again totally destroyed. So these nematodes are really a menace. These are the plant parasites which I told you, and now the bacterivores. Bacterivores basically they are the friendly creatures because they are relying on the decomposition. They are, you can say, basically causing or bringing about the decomposition process in the soil. So they are responsible for nutrient cycling, which is really an important event which will bring about the availability of food to the plants, the main producers. The predators are also not behind. You will find that they are feeding on other small organisms or even the other nematodes of smaller size, and they are having their presence felt in the environment, because you know that in the ecosystem the predators they are having a very important role to play just to manage the diversity of the ecosystem. So these nematodes found everywhere, and you can say in every habitat. So what is the spatial properties they are having? Why they are showing so much diversity and adaptability? So that is actually the answer. They are having a great degree of phenoplasticity. That means their body can be molded into different forms if the conditions change, and this is really a very, very amazing type of property. So let's talk about some of the features where they are showing the diversity. Like I just, because of the constraint of time, I am not going to tell about the entire details of the nematodes, but just to limit myself, I should say that they are having an outer cuticular covering, and this cuticle also is showing the modification. That cuticle can be annulated, that can be striated, or that may show punctations, and these punctations can also be variable. Here you can see the different types of arrangement or modifications in the cuticle, where you will find that the lines can be horizontal in the form of ridges, there can be transverse striations, there can be other type of protuberances which may be showing the punctations. So you can find their variety to be immense. And then again the labial modifications, you can see not all of them. You may find that they are just looking like wriggling creatures, but they are not. They are all having their individual characteristic. In appearance also, like you can always identify one human from another, and here also you will find they are having very unique traits. So you can see the labial modifications, which is quite obvious in all these forms. And this is again, most of the slides I am showing, these are actually slides of my lab. So you can see the scanning electron microscopy. Here also you will find that the nematodes are showing a lot of variation in the lip region, which shows into tiny processes. Conspicuous amphids, these are, you can see the pores in the body of nematodes, and these are actually the chemoreceptors through which they perceive the chemicals in the soil environment. And you may find that they are of various shapes and sizes. That again is a diversity which is very important for identification. You may also find that the nematodes, because they are living in different types of habitat, and that's why they are having their different feeding modes, and so the buccal cavity or the armature, that also is accordingly modified. Here you can see that the SEM or scanning electron microscopy picture that shows that how these nematodes may be having simple lips or they may be having massive armature in the form of tooth and cutting plates. So that depends that what type of diet they prefer and in what environment they are there. Pharyngeal modifications, you can see these modifications are also too many that cannot be fathomed in this small presentation. Then you can see here that the genital opening, that is of the male and female, because you find that they are the sexes are separate, they are dioecious, and here also you will find that there is a lot of variation which basically has got a good identification value. The tails of male, you can find that they also are variable and they are present in different types of habitat, and that's why they are having this type of adaptations. This is actually an interesting feature that you will notice that in some of the nematodes which are found in aquatic environment. So water is basically putting a lot of constraint in their movement because they can get swayed away with the water current, and in order to anchor or in order to hold, you can say, the grip to the substratum, they are having a special type of tube like structure that is presented in this figure, that this tube basically is leading to a duct, and that is connected to glands, caudal glands. So these caudal glands, they provide a sort of hold fast organ to the nematode so that they can get anchored to the substratum, and then they can take their food while just being attached to the substratum on their tails.